Welcome to Overeducated and Underemployed. Thanks for listening. Got a really exciting episode this week. Let me set the stage for you. I went to pick up my media pass and everything for Athfest. Headed over to where Slightly Famous Somebodies was being interviewed by another podcast called Joker TV. And so after that interview, we all went to this amazing Mexican place. And then we headed back to the Airbnb, I believe it was, of Jonathan Spencer. And set a mic in the middle of the room, and we just talked for about 90 minutes. And I got to say, it was a lot of fun. I feel like if you have half as much fun listening to it as we had just talking, then you're going to have a great time, too. Slightly Famous Somebodies is a super group of Slightly Famous Somebodies. They have a cast of characters that comes and goes. I spoke with four of them. Jonathan Spencer, who you'll recognize from a lot of different projects. Vaylor Wiggins, who played Karen on Shameless, among other films. Vaylor Trucks, the son of Butch Trucks, the little kid on the cover of Brothers and Sisters, the Allman Brothers band album. And then Kane Stanley, who's the drummer of Cosmic Charlie and dozens of other Athens, Georgia bands. Cosmic Charlie's been a band for 26 years. Grateful Dead tribute band. I'll be going back to Athens to catch their show next month at the Georgia Theater. Slightly Famous Somebodies was playing their first show at Athfest the following night. They put on a great show. I'll talk more about their show after I play you this interview. Stick around for that. Here's my interview with Slightly Famous Somebodies.
Let's dive.
We're on Overeducated and Underemployed. I'm here with three Slightly Famous Somebodies, which means that
There's three of us.
you're barely famous at this point.
We're slightly.
We're a pie chart.
But
That's fine.
we had a train go by on the interview earlier twice, so anything that happens, it's great. I don't care.
The wheels are already off.
I don't care about my phone. I threw it on the ground because I'm an adult.
And my dad's not a phone.
Perfect.
So I'm just going to start by asking you each of your names and why are you slightly famous?
Okay. Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm Slightly Famous Somebody because I was on Shameless, and I'm Jonathan's friend. And I'm a singer in the band and sometimes play guitar.
Sometimes you play guitar.
And write songs.
And a songwriter.
And a harmony singer. And a lead singer.
But that's not singing.
That is all singing.
We're like, because we're, I don't know, we'll get to that part later. You know, how we've structured the band. But we're kind of like guest stars, recurring, regular.
Yeah.
What do you need? Do you need to go on vacation? Go on vacation. We'll find someone to do your part.
We're characters that come and go, and people watching the show are like, oh, that guy from season 2 is back. Oh, good. The person from season 1. Oh, I hope they come back next season. So it's a fluid ship at sea. I'm Jonathan Spencer. I'm Slightly Famous as Laura's friend, too.
Yep, true.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair, yeah.
I would say my kind of first little thing that a lot of people know is Pineapple Express. I'm in the first couple scenes with Bill Hader, making him smoke the item nut. The Lazy-Eyed Scientist. Laura and I were in LA for almost a dozen years doing TV and such. But Always Sunny in Philly is one a lot of people know as the morgue worker who likes yogurt up his ass and a popsicle stick in his mouth. Sorry, Mom. Like you do? Like I do, yes. Maybe it was improv, maybe it was truth. I don't know. It's been a while, so I can't really answer that correctly.
It was really, it was Charlie work, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Charlie work.
You're one of those people that's been in like so many things, like briefly though.
Yeah.
Exactly. They keep
And
popping
it's
up.
like everybody thinks that they know you, but
The
they have no idea.
Mentalist.
Totally. The first season of
Parks and
Mad
Rec?
Men, I shared an office with Peggy in the last 2 episodes,
My
played
girl.
Vic Manny. And currently, I can now talk about this, and I couldn't until a week ago, but we just wrapped Murdoch Murders for Hulu in Atlanta at Assembly Studios, and that comes out in October about the Alex Murdoch murders in South Carolina.
exciting.
And
And
I'm
it's
playing one of the
Mandy
assholes.
Matney's version, so it's
Yeah,
the version.
Yeah, the reporter who broke the story of the Hilton
Yeah.
Head Island package.
Right.
She's the exec producer, and it's all based on her podcast,
So.
Mandy Matney. And she's played by Brittany Snow, and all my scenes are with her because I'm playing the asshole, old guard reporter, like Citadel type guy who tries to steal their steal their story, and I'm in there briefly, but yeah, it's cool. It was a really fun experience, so I'm excited that's coming out. And I've got another feature film I just wrapped in New Orleans about four months ago called The Designer with Gina Gershon. I think that comes out in November, actually. But yeah, I'm very slightly, but yeah, here we are.
Yeah, and it seems like
Who'd want to
both of you like took some time off and dealt with like life for
Absolutely.
a while, and then you're now getting back into a lot of stuff.
It's funny how life.com gets in the way and you got to take care of life a little bit. But yeah, it really has come full circle, literally and metaphorically, for all of us. Yeah, things are rolling again. It's like I'm still trying to find time to sleep and shower now. Things are so busy, so I feel blessed.
See, I got a kid who just graduated college, so I know Jonathan from iCarly.
Hi, Carly. Totally.
I'm still jealous because I wanted to do Disney. And I did Showtime Raunchy and he was on Disney.
I was just
So jealous. What a jerk.
I was so happy because at that time, Carly, 20 years ago, I was happy that I passed the Disney background check.
Right.
Which was like, they send you a 35-page report. It costs $400 for them to, but once you pass the background check, then you get on all the Disney and Nickelodeon
I
shows.
really want to make a joke. I'm not going to make that.
And I just knew the
Those
background.
producers passed the background check.
Right, 'cause I was like,
How hard could it be?
You were fine. If Dan
you were
Schneider
like
got
20 and we were drinking $2 chucks, so the background check wasn't that thorough. But honestly, if you don't have like real crimes, then you're good. So I was happy to have
You
that.
didn't get caught. So that
Well, I made a lot of copies of the background report that was the background check, and I was like, see, I'm a good person. And anybody who tells you that is
You've
probably not a
actually
good
gotten in
person.
trouble for anything.
I
So
feel like-
he's never gotten in trouble. I just
that's some added value.
It does. It really
It's
does.
just a rock
Gives you some,
star.
like, moral credibility.
And to show up with your paperwork saying you're a good person, that's got to work, right?
I feel like that's something like neurodivergent people are like, that's neurodivergent as hell. And I'm like, yeah, that makes total sense to me.
Yeah. Here are my papers.
I'll give the table to Vaylor to say, but on that note, our entire band is. So we originally were going to title the album Athens-ish because it was all these Athens-y bands. And we've recently changed the title of our debut album is called The Spectrum. There you go.
Hell yeah, let's
I
go.
stole your iCarly.
Yes, all good.
And you gotta introduce yourself.
My name is Vaylor Trucks. My father is Butch Trucks, who's the founding drummer of the Allman Brothers band. My cousin is Derek Trucks, who is front of the Tedeschi Trucks band, played with Allman Brothers for a while. His little brother and my other cousin is Dwayne Trucks, who currently plays with Widespread Panic and has been recently going out with Humphreys McGee. If you are familiar with the 1973 Allman Brothers album called Brothers and Sisters, the one with Ramblin' Man and Jessica on it, the little boy on the
Midnight
cover
Rider.
is me. So
In the midnight.
Little 2-year-old blonde cute kid in the leaves is Vaylor on the
That's
cover
me.
of that album.
So my first
He's so
question is, what
precious.
happened?
what? Yeah, exactly. Time has not been kind to this one. Yes.
Vaylor is adorable, y'all.
Oh.
What you saying? On the way y'all
She's not
say.
wrong.
This is true.
She's not wrong.
It's
Yeah.
very-
He's so precious on that.
Very infectious.
Yeah, just make sure you give me your Venmo on
And they did. At least they did Nirvana. You're in your cute little overalls, little haircut.
Yeah, no, I play guitar in this band. Jonathan and I actually met because during the pandemic, look, I'm employed rather gainfully, so I didn't want to take any of the few remaining music jobs away from gigging musicians, people who actually needed the money, but I didn't want to disconnect myself from music entirely.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I need to hold myself accountable. I need to do something that gets me plugged into the music, but is not something that I can sit at my desk and say, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. So I made a list of the 24 albums that I should have heard by now. We've all got the list. These albums that, how have I made it to this old and I've never heard Elvis's first album, for example.
Yeah.
So I made that list and I said, to hold myself accountable, I'm going to listen to one a week exclusively, multiple times a day. Not just do a reaction video, but know the music inside and out, and then make about a 15-minute video talking about it. And 5 years later, I'm still doing this thing. It's called The Albums I've Missed.
It's super fun. I love it.
Season
I can't
4, each season I have a different theme. Season 2, I had my kids suggest all the albums. Season 3, I inherited a vinyl collection. It was a deep dive into that.
Oh, wow.
Season 4 was user requests. And Jonathan was one of the ones that requested an album. It was a Donald Byrd album called Ethiopian Nights. It's one of his fusion albums. And the album he made right before Blackbird, Blackbird is an enormous album, but it's the one he made right before that. So that's how I officially met Jonathan. And then he just said, "Hey, we're recording. You want to come?" I was like,
And we met on your podcast.
Yeah.
Over Zoom.
Yep.
He was interviewing me, and we were doing the thing. So that's available on your channel.
"It's true."
Episodes, I don't know.
I'm gonna fall asleep to it tonight.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It's quite a good way to start for sure. So timing was right.
I'm usually interviewing one person at a time, and I do a deep dive, and I don't think this is just not the time for that. Maybe we'll find another time, another day. But I will ask y'all each the question that I start with everybody. What is the first song you remember loving?
I actually have an answer for this. When I was 2 or 3 years old, when my mom and dad were still together, the story goes that you could not get me to go to sleep at night unless you put Herbie Hancock's Maiden Voyage on headphones.
Oh wow.
So Herbie Hancock's Maiden Voyage is the first song I remember loving.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an answer I've not heard before either.
That's awesome. Mine could be from a different world.
Yeah.
I'm still the same 5-year-old kid jumping around the bedroom to disco that I was in 1978. And the one that sticks with me is the Kiss disco song, "I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving," which could easily be like Diana Ross. It could be like if you take the Kiss element out of it, it could be like any Pointer Sisters could have done it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did.
Moulin
Yeah.
Rouge in that wonderful scene.
Okay, yeah. So when I was 5 and that was out, I wanted like the Kiss makeup and the platform shoes, but not for all the reasons that everybody else did. I liked the disco tune. So
Yeah.
And
The
then-
only way you're loving me, baby, is if you pay a hefty fee.
Exactly.
Have you ever seen any of the Robert Fripp and Toya Sunday Lunch
Yes,
videos?
I have. Yes.
They did that
They did
one
that one?
with Toya dressed as a big pink like dinosaur.
Oh, hilarious. Hilarious. And the first kind of album that I remember was also the first concert that my parents took me to, which was, I think I was 5 or 6, and it was John Denver at the Omni in Atlanta. So I knew every word. I didn't have the words, but I knew the John Denver album that was out in that era, any song that was always in the 8-track in Dad's
Thank
wagon.
God I'm a country boy.
Yeah, so yeah, somewhere between Kiss and John Denver is your answer for me. Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah, I've got, I guess too, because, and I always forget the name of it, but there's that ELO record where you could play it backwards and it says the time is, like time is always forward, but the music is not. Return, or something like reverse. It's really creepy, and my dad would play it.
I love ELO too.
And of course, ELO is like big dancey, like kids love that. But then he would start to play it backwards, and I still don't like. We have the record. I don't have something I can play backwards on anymore.
You can flip the MP3 backwards.
Millennials, we have a hard
That's
time.
really easy.
And they were like,
than fucking up your needle.
they were tongue in cheek making
Oh,
fun.
you mean go on digital and just
Yeah, you literally just can click
and
the
just
button
go like.
and have it play backwards.
Flip it backwards, and they were making fun of all of that like Satan scare stuff that was going on. They're
Oh, yeah,
like,
so
they're like,
people
let's
don't
do
Well,
it
you know what? That's not as fun, and like I could never touch the record, of course, because that's really hard. But you're right.
to do the rap.
Spin around. And then the other was my dad always sang that Willie Nelson song, like "Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys."
yeah,
He
yeah.
sang that every night to me because I was like,
Did it
I just always
work?
love it.
Yeah.
No, I think it encouraged me to become like a cowboy. Like he's
Yeah.
an attorney, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing over here. I'm just,
You've always
Acting.
been like 25% cowgirl.
you know, yeah, if needed, if needed. But
I'm gonna
that's
pee,
it.
y'all can
Those
talk.
two.
I'll be right
I
back.
wish I could remember that ELO song. Do you remember what it's called?
Which one? Oh,
The one
yellow?
that you can play backwards.
Is it Turn to Stone?
I think it is Turn to Stone. You're right. It is Turn to Stone.
Yeah.
Because like in music, they have all this stuff like it's.
All I can think about is Little Mickey when they play. Is it Sticks backwards? And it goes, "I command you in the name of Lucifer to spread the blood of the innocent." No, it was just in the movie. When it,
Oh, okay.
I think you're actually referring to this ELO song.
Yeah.
That you're talking about.
There's all this stuff that like this
Oh, it's that.
Stairway to Heaven as like the
Exactly.
devil referenced in
yeah.
it. The more I've been in the industry, I've said don't really believe in the Illuminati. I believe there could be like powerful people that think they're doing something, but it's so unorganized.
I'll cut that out for your own protection.
If
don't
Bill
worry.
Clinton, the most powerful man in the world, couldn't keep Monica Lewinsky a secret,
Is he? Sometimes with the like they put all this devil stuff out of it. I'm like, that would be cool, but like humans are so disorganized.
Well, they've just learned to hide it in plain sight.
Cool. Like, we didn't care. We didn't care anymore. We're so tired right now. After the pandemic and the jobs and the inflation. And I'm going to tell you something. If you get on a Temu, they will not sell you something for a cent. They'll say, you can have this bounce house for they said for 1 cent you can have this because you already spent a lot of money. And then they trick you again, so just saying.
The whole world's a scam.
It is. That's why we exist, so you can get some real honest music.
So, speaking of honest music, at what point did each one of y'all decide you wanted to make music instead of just liking it? That may have been super young, I think, in probably your case, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe your way of rebelling is, I'm not going to touch it.
Well, here's the thing about that. When I was very young, like for Christmas 1972, right? So I was 2.5 years old. My father got me a drum set, and it wasn't a little kid's drum set. It wasn't a little toy beginner instrument. It was a set of primo bebop Camco drums, and I still own them. They're still in my studio to this day. That's awesome. But when I was 2 years old, I got good enough at it that my tiny brain says, okay, I know how to do this. Let's go do something else. So the drums started gathering dust. And over the years, I cycled through a bunch of instruments. I took piano lessons. I took harmonica lessons. I played tenor sax in the junior high band.
Oh, wow.
My mom got remarried, and the man that she remarried was a guitar player. And so he taught me a couple of chords on a guitar, and we had these sheet music books in the house, and I said, this pattern of dots looks like the shape my fingers make when I make this chord, and it's got the same name. So I taught myself all the songs and all of those songbooks, and then I've just been on guitar ever since. But since I've gone through the process of learning sheet music, learning theory, taking lessons, everything else, I'm autodidactic when it comes to music. I can play about 15 different instruments, and so...
Including a lot of...
Yeah, I play some melodica today. So, yeah, but I made a decision because my father is who he is, right? So here's the thing. This is a digression, and I don't usually go into stuff like this. I graduated high school in 1988. The Allman Brothers got together in 1969. They broke up for a time in the mid-70s, got back together, then broke up for an extended period in 82, and didn't get back together and start touring again until 89. So my entire high school year would have been real nice to have a rock star dad. No one gave a heck about the Allman Brothers.
Interesting.
Anytime it would have been really useful to say, hey, you want to know who my dad is? You want to go see a show? Nothing like that. In fact, he was not financially, none of the Allman Brothers were doing real well in the 80s. So during my formative years, when I was looking around at these guys who are supposed to be big stars, they broke the world attendance record. Watkins Glen, New York, the Allman Brothers, the Grateful Dead, and the band broke the record set by Woodstock for the largest crowd.
Yeah.
And in 1983, he's living in a trailer, mowing the yards and working for like a stereo company. And so I made a decision when I graduated high school, music will always be part of my life. Yeah. Music will always be something that I do, but I won't ever make it my primary means of living because it's like the difference between baseball and figure skating.
Yeah.
With baseball, you can point to your statistics. This is how well I field, how well I hit, how well I run. Pay me based on that. With figure skating, you can do everything perfect, and if one of the judges don't like you, you don't get a perfect score. I have other means of making a living, but music, I get to choose my gigs. I get to be selective about the music I play. And that's just a decision I made when I was 18, and I've stuck to it. So.
Hence how being slightly famous is a good thing, actually.
And Rue just got slightly more famous.
I was having a hard day, honestly, because I got an extra career. I thought it was going to be, and like, Vaylor, when you told me that, I was like, that actually freed me up a lot. Because I feel like we're always so tempted to try to, it's got to be up here, and you got to, but it actually can hurt you because now all of a sudden you're playing into not what you like, what's good. You're not hitting what you want to hit. You're just hitting. And I have two little girls too, so it starts to change. You're like, I don't want to do it, y'all. It can be a very crazy game when you're trying to keep up with.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody in the band, one of the cool things, like everybody's been close enough to the industry to know what it is. It's not a bad place, but you're not. It's not Athens, Georgia. I'll tell you that. This place is fun. Like Atlanta music's fun, but it's not that.
When you like know enough to know how close you want to be to it or how far you want to be from it, it seems like all of you like seem to be very intentional about how you navigate what projects you might choose, what you even want to be doing in the first place. And I think all acknowledge that's a privilege.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it allows you to really only do projects that you actually care about, right?
In the film world, I just do whatever they offer me half the time, honestly. But in the music world, I'm like, all right.
Well, you want to keep your agent or whatever. Right?
Yeah. Like,
Start
honestly,
turning down work, they get mad.
So this
we have
lifetime.
been joined by your drummer.
Hey guys.
Finally, he's a. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah, he's not
He
doing it.
was taking care of business.
It was an odyssey.
I know, we sent him out on a thing, and I'm like,
But I've been out there. I've been in the
field.
I've been in the field. And, it's
Brian right
looking
now.
good out there.
sorry, Katie.
Yeah, I was there for the first band, and we're at Athens 2025.
Yeah.
Slightly Famous Somebodies are playing tomorrow. It's Friday night. The fest just kicked off this evening, and there's electricity in the air, I think. Is that fair to
It's
say?
the solstice, and if anybody comes to our show, I'm gonna put a spell on y'all. It's gonna be a good spell.
Here tomorrow.
And Vaylor's birthday is the
That's
solstice.
true.
Yeah.
Birthday
And I got a
show.
song called Hidden Track. We're gonna put a spell on everybody. We're gonna get out of our way this time. We're getting out. We're gonna quit lying to ourselves and start going out the door.
So can
I don't know
you
what I'm talking like
introduce
that.
yourself
Very
and tell us
tired.
why you're slightly famous?
I'm Kane Stanley. That's one thing I'm sure of. I'm not sure if it's a claim to fame, but I'm an Athens, Georgia native, and I've been here playing music for over 30 years. I did spend some time away from Athens before college, and I came back up here to go to school, and really I just wanted to play music, and I got a degree while I was doing it, and I've been playing ever since. And I've probably played in more bands than there are letters of the alphabet out of Athens, and I've toured the country several times playing music.
And you'll be touring this summer with
Cosmic Charlie is the group that I've been playing with the most out of that time. It's a Grateful Dead tribute based out of Athens. We started in 1999, so the band turns 26 this summer. And last summer we did a national tour. We ended up all the way out in Orcas Island. We were in the just outer banks of Washington State, and we drove all the way across the country. It was so beautiful. And this summer we're going up the East Coast. We're going up into New York and Providence. We're going into Rhode Island, and then we're doing the Midwest. But we do a lot of that, and then we still have time for our families and our lives. So it's been good to be in a band like that, and it has really helped me build my chops. We play improvisational shows based on the music of the Grateful Dead, but we don't use set lists.
Oh, cool.
And there's 2 drummers. We always do a big drum feature, which people come to see, and that's something I really enjoy doing. But it helped me build my chops because our shows are 2 sets. They clock in over 3 hours, and there's a 15-minute drum solo there. So
That's the intermission.
that's when the band goes and takes a break and leaves me out there.
Everybody gets to empty the bladder. And
Yeah.
Been at 26 years,
Yeah.
so like
you
gonna.
got it down to a science.
Yeah, they take a break. They leave us out there, but we have to play our way out of it. But
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
give people their entertainment's worth. And I've seen the Grateful Dead several times back in the '90s. I was lucky enough to see them, and I feel it's something we want to share with the world. And so that has really trained me to be a professional musician. I've toured multiple clubs and cities, and I'm bringing that to this group. And that music is vast, and there's so many different genres. There's a Americana genre. There was a disco genre. There's jazz. It's jazz and fusion and rock, and all the other bands I've played in. I toured with this funk band out of Atlanta called Entropy for about 12 years, and I did a lot of the shrimp and grits circuit with them. Instead of the chitlin circuit, we called it the shrimp and grits circuit.
Oh, yeah.
And,
The bougie circuit.
yeah, Savannah, Charleston, get up and down
I
Jacksonville.
It's in Florida. Too,
Yeah,
so
we got
we're
into
on the
Jacksonville.
coast.
That's right.
But like locally, I've had a lot of different things going on. I had a Brazilian jazz trio going for about 12 years called Cachaça, and that was really fun. And I've being in Athens, it has so many opportunities to play music, but it's like you were saying when I walked in, it's good to be able to pick and choose and make sure it's like really fulfilling, because that's really, if you're out there and you're schlepping your instrument around and you're dealing with parking and insane nightlife, you want to make sure it's good for your soul.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the groups that I've been playing with. And one interesting thing with Slightly Famous Somebodies, aside from the 30-year relationship I've had with Jonah, is that I've met a lot of great people through it that are slightly famous. But also, I've met some really great players and some really great people, and I can tell that they're all genuine and people I would actually want to be around. And we don't tour. And we have pretty much just been doing studio work, and that is pretty much, in my opinion, after touring and burning up the road for almost 30 years, I love that. I love going to a studio. Half the time there's drums already set up and tuned for me. All I got to do is sit down and think about making it the best I can, and we have really put a lot of energy into that.
Absolutely. We've organically found a formula that works for everybody, that doesn't overcommit anyone. And for example, John Neff started as just like a guest pedal steel player, but he loved the project and we loved everything he was doing. Yeah. And just as we added singles,
what's not to love about John Neff?
Yes. So we don't sit around and plan what's next. We just like organically flow. We pick the song and then we flow into the next bit and see where it's at. And we learned that like Neff plays best in his pajamas or his boxers at home at 3 a.m. But so he listens to the song and rehearses with us once, and then goes home and does his bit and phones it in, and it's perfect.
There's a handful of trucker shows I saw back in the day. Where it's dressed a little weird.
And that's how he plays best. And I'm not gonna, it works for us wonderfully. So we always leave space for him to bring his color back in.
I love hearing it.
Yeah.
And it's psychedelic pedal steel.
It is psychedelic pedal steel with
wait
intention.
for you guys to hear some of the tracks we're sitting on.
I'm excited to hear it. He's been one of my favorite players for 20 years. So I'm excited anytime he's working with anybody. And then I started talking to y'all, not even knowing that he was working with y'all. And then
He's a great human being.
he works with so many people.
He's a throwback character too. He's like a pedal steel guy from '71. He's just the real deal on all the.
He's a closet 2 Live Crew fan.
Oh yeah.
See him get excited. Pull up some 2 Live Crew videos. It brings out a whole side of mine.
Well, we do have a big screen behind us tomorrow night. That would confuse a lot of people.
Should we play in front of a 2 Live Crew video?
Right before he has to go play with the bad scenes too. To just cause conflict for no reason. I want to go do my job, but the show's on.
He just turns around and he doesn't move.
I play that pedal still.
Tallahassee during the whole music censorship labeling 2 Live Crew thing.
Oh.
I actually organized protests and hearings in the Tallahassee Capitol building to try and keep Florida lawmakers from putting these giant yellow labels on any album that they considered obscene. So I was.
And Frank Zappa went and spoke to Congress. He didn't even have. He was putting out instrumental music.
Yeah, at the time.
You and I are about the same age. I feel like they put that stuff on the record, so we're like, we need to get that.
Yeah,
We want that.
That's true. That was like what was good, or at least like it was at least gonna piss off our parents.
Yeah, let's give it a listen now.
A lot of life stuff didn't start as an idea to piss off your parents.
I'm wondering how many people got into Limp Bizkit and Marilyn Manson just because it had that sticker. Because it's not
Definitely not me.
It definitely wasn't good. But
There was like a weird
really
out.
good at pissing you off your parents.
Very good.
Are we gonna have to put a sticker on our album?
Only because of the nudity.
I will say, that's
Keep
funny
that
on that
coming.
note, though. Albums and records used to be cassettes in the 80s for me. Tuesday was the record release day. That was my day. Before drugs and alcohol, Tuesday new records was my biggest high I could possibly get at age 12, 13. And I would always have my mom drive me to Turtles Records and Tapes in Atlanta on Tuesday evening and go get a new release or look at the new release. And I was about 12 when I got super obsessed with Led Zeppelin, not just the radio, but started to be like the deep cut 12-year-old who's. And so imagine a 12-year-old boy explaining Led Zeppelin to his mother and then putting on Whole Lotta Love in her 83 Peugeot and making her listen to the Whole Lotta Love break. Wait, Mom, no, we have to listen to this before we drive home. So yeah, that pissing off the parents for me was being 12 and making them listen to Led Zeppelin.
My mom took me to see the South Park movie when I was 13.
It was fucking cool.
My mom is fucking cool. I will say amen to that.
And my mom is too. She's gonna sing with us tomorrow, actually. So I don't
We
want
used to cool parents. My mom got me into Hendrix.
Also,
Sorry, Mommy, I love you.
I love you too.
I'm not sure which one of us was traumatized more by that experience. Like, when the giant clitoris came out and started talking, thankfully she left to go to the restroom or something when Saddam started pulling out penis after penis.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to.
Wait, are we still talking about South Park or no?
I don't know anymore. Kane, back to you for just a second, because there's one question we went around the room with that I would love to ask you too.
Yeah.
What's the first song that you remember loving as a kid?
Oh man, Purple Haze.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Yeah, my mom had an awesome music collection, and some of it was like in this special little area. And I started crawling through it, and I found Hendrix Smash Hits or something.
Smash Hits,
It
of course.
blew me away, and then I loved guitar before I ever played drums. I didn't have the patience to learn it. But I focused on drums, which takes a hell of a lot of patience too. But I just started playing music, and I was like, oh, you're the drummer. So I didn't really break music on guitar now, and I taught myself. It took me until I was 30 to start playing, and I'm 48 now.
If you're a good drummer, like sometimes people just make you do that because good drummers.
You're obligated to
like,
keep the shit together.
You're just like you can keep it in the pocket and you show up on time.
Those are two
Please
things
don't.
on my resume.
Those are things that a lot of people take for granted too. Like those are rare qualities.
Yeah.
And are super important for a drummer. Knowing when to be able to hold back, knowing when to show off, and showing up.
And being consistent.
Back in 1994 and 1995 in Athens, I had a house on Saxon Woods Drive, which I'm not related to John Spencer from the Blues Explosion, and I always go by Jonathan. I've never been a John. But everybody in Athens called that house the John Spencer House Explosion, because it was a 5-bedroom house with a full basement that we had 7 bands practicing in twice a week. So it was nonstop. It was dirt, weed, and jams 24/7.
That place was Slightly Famous.
It was before any of us had any real job, and the rent from the bands practicing paid the rent on my house for years, and so many people came and went then. But Kane, I don't even know if Kane knows this, but we had tons of everybody wanting to turn their Marshall stack up and the mega drum kits and everybody beating the crap out of the drums. And Kane would come over with his maple kit, and your nickname was Maple Touch. Because I was like, this song, we need Kane because he's the touch guy. He's not the hammers breaking the skins, playing as loud as he possibly can all the time. And we were like, and Reed too. Reed was around then. He was like, oh, we need the Maple Touch. Call Kane.
There it is.
That's 30 years ago, brother.
Yeah, that's how you've been sitting on that one for a while.
Maple Touch, you still are.
That might be like one of the biggest compliments a drummer gets.
Especially
That's
considering
a
I
good
was
point.
like
And I
20
still ask it. Like I've been trying to work slowly back into this. I know we've got better stories, but I do think one of the biggest credits of this band is there's not every single person. You will have a moment where you just zone out listening to their instrument, and I think it's just the coolest freaking thing. Whether it's like Kane bringing some like jazz into it, or just really heavy metal going on. We've got guitar. We got like
rock.
Ethereal, like we got it all, and it's really been Jonathan's bass lines are just they're leading. They bring the turnarounds. Like nobody has phoned it in apparently, except for John Neff, which I think is hilarious because he is definitely not. We were just giving him shit yesterday, but like his stuff, if you listen, like this is iconic shit.
I think the first rule of nicknames, you can't love your nickname, and you can't. The second rule is you can't choose it yourself, and the third rule is it's got to sting just a tiny bit, but from a good place.
Yeah.
So I think Neff's new nickname might be Pajama Neff because he likes to record in his pajamas, and that's what works unbelievably well for him. Pajama Neff.
That's what comes of this.
And a lot more. Pajama Neff. Plus, Neff, buddy, if you're listening to this, I just made it so he can always record in his pajamas, so he won't hate me.
I know, right? No, that's brilliant.
Thank you.
That's me. Pajama Neff.
Send me the track. I'm in my pajamas.
Hidden tracking. I was first of all had a long day of like where you just keep trying to eat. You don't eat anything. Just everything is pushing against you. So instead of being that, I was just let myself be weird as I could be. And I just remember the first time I met Neff being like, he was like, well, I don't want my stuff to go over your vocals. And I was like, no, I should not mess up your falsetto and my vocals. You are a legend. It just was awesome. It was so funny.
This is the Laura I've been for a long time.
And then he's sitting over there. He's like, Laura, it doesn't work that way. And I'm like, that's a stupid rule. You're making a John Neff album today.
Whatever you said, your coaching worked.
Test, right?
Neffest is Neffest.
So I'm a big fan of all these people. Just
Somebody buy Neffest.com for $18.
I'm going to buy it before this airs. So
Yeah.
we have control over it.
I'm gonna start a tribute band called Inefficient.
That's the best one right there.
And everybody in the show has to wear or play pajamas. That's the wear pajamas.
There's, I got no problem with
Pajamas
that.
that have like people's face all over them. John's face all over it.
I play for these.
Nice.
John's gonna be like, he's gonna be like, man, I'm so sorry I missed the podcast. I was like, dude, you're the star of the podcast.
I'm supposed to talk to him tomorrow or Sunday, so
He's gonna talk about
I'm not going to tell him any of this.
Wear your pajamas.
Okay. Well,
He'll be in his pajamas.
But he should remember that thing, because I was still like, no, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't want to be messing with your stuff up with my stuff. And it's like, that doesn't work.
No.
Sometimes I don't like those rules. I don't know, man. Who cares about vocals?
It worked. Whatever you
It was
broke,
fun.
Yeah,
The
whatever
track
rules
was
you
great.
broke.
Kane and Vaylor like were sound like very musical, very young.
Yeah, I definitely was. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, and you, Jonathan and Laura, have started more with acting, or have you always been into music? Like, tell me, like,
I like my
where
little-
that path
My
goes.
little jingle jangle line I like to say, it's a great question. Though my little jingle jangle answer to that is that I've always done both music and acting with equal passion and vigor. It's just the world has paid attention to one or the other at their own pace, right?
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
rarely both at the same time. And this very minute is the first time in my life where both are converging at the same time.
And you're getting like
Yeah,
the synergy almost.
I was acting for 20 years before I made $1 acting. I was in all the musicals and all the plays and all the high school and community theater. And to be honest, I just liked hanging out with the girls and building
You're like,
sets
"Dude."
and getting good at listening to all their problems.
Told to kiss them.
Yes,
That's great.
And half the dudes didn't care about the girls, so the odds were good for a chubby kid like me. It worked out, and I got to be the cheerleader's best friend. And
So that's the thing. The odds are good, but the goods are us.
But when I was 13, exactly, when I was 13, I may have not known the major scale, but yes,
Sorry, guys.
No, you couldn't hold that one back. That would go.
100%.
I'm gonna steal that, Brian. I'm gonna steal that. Freaking Vaylor over there.
Sorry.
No, I'll come back out in his mouth. Like, his guitar is beautiful. And he got all kinds of stuff.
We have a little acronym, and Laura and I have a life acronym that we've shared with the band, NSBR, which is never stop being ridiculous. Don't let anybody steal your ridiculous, and tame your instincts. Embrace it.
Don't get mad, get weird.
We don't shush each other ever. Don't get mad, get weird. Amen.
Channel your weirdness into an illusion of creativity.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta let someone know what's up. It's okay to be mad sometimes. That's the mom in me. Like, it's okay to have early feelings. But sometimes you're like, gosh, let's be weird about it. Here we go. Because I started in a band in high school. I met Jonathan. We were called Irrational, spelled with an ear. And we were taking like Backstreet Boys and like Cobra Starship. And all these, like, we had changed the words to like, she's too stoned, and it was like all about Mario, Nintendo, and we had
I just saw that band reunite like last fall, American Hi-Fi.
because I never thought I could weasel it into a conversation again.
When I met Laura Slade Wiggins, she was 17, a senior in high school, and she auditioned. I was a casting director for a small movie in Atlanta called Dance of the Dead.
Okay.
And Laura had done a table read of the script, and she came in and auditioned for the movie. And it wasn't her read itself. Like auditions, in-person auditions always begin with a little bit of small talk. And she came in, we had the director, the writer, and myself, the casting director. We had the auditions at my church, Holy Innocents. And Laura comes in, and we start the small talk, and we're like, what's going on? How's your day? And the first thing she says, my band just played on the roof of the Waffle House in Athens. We're like you too? Wait, what? She said, yeah.
Except for not like you two.
Wait,
Like,
what? What?
trying to get a giant bass
Of the
amp.
Waffle House?
Here's someone playing on the roof, and your first instinct is you two and not the Beatles.
It's this little girl who can barely play the bass.
You playing on the
Well, it's the imitation.
We had to put Jacob's drum kit on the original.
Three layers of imitation.
What it was, you two played on the roof of a Waffle House.
And like they don't work there, so it doesn't matter. But like they were like we were best friends with them. Rick and Renata were our people, and we would sneak out of our house to go to the Waffle House in Oconee. And she like pitched like Rotten Tomatoes to us, and she was like, "Sure, put your stuff up there." But when the police came, they were like, confused. They're like, getting down?
The police.
You say so. Wild cherry. One,
You know,
two.
it's like,
Get it down.
I think it's 1 year before like everyone started suing everybody for everything in the world, but like we got away with it. It was funny.
Did you base your set list on the Waffle House jukebox?
Oh.
Yeah, but we had a lot of loves of those.
We have some love for the Waffle House jukebox.
Look, I can't play very many songs anymore. We have
I-
Canadian Mom.
I
My
honestly,
House
like,
Mom.
my dad, Ronnie Millsap 8-track is burned in my head forever of life. So all Ronnie's got a couple of Waffle House kids.
Oh yeah, no. My sister and I went to school with Ronnie Millsap's kid. Yeah.
Oh,
That's what
nice.
she
Yeah.
did. Just kidding.
Yeah, no, we
Reminded?
lived in Nashville for a while, and I went to a private school up there called Franklin Road Academy, which is a performing arts school.
Heard
Yeah,
that, yeah.
yeah.
There's a
So,
lot
I've heard of Franklin Road.
It's that's a Weird Al song. I don't mean to call you.
well, no, here's another one. I told you who my dad and my cousin are. My godfathers, the two people who were there to be my godfathers when I was baptized, Spooner Oldham and Dan Penn.
Spooner Oldham was your cop. Oh my God.
Spooner's the man.
Yep. The man who played the Rhodes intro at the beginning of Aretha Franklin's "Never Never the Man the Way That I Love You."
Oh
One
my-
of the Swampers from Muscle
Yeah.
Shoals.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Chuck
I
Reese
didn't-
organized this show in Tallahassee one time as part of a music fest we had where
Never knew,
Spooner
like, he's
came
gonna
down,
pull out
Funky Donnie Fritz before he
the
passed away,
stories.
David Hood,
Oh, yeah.
Patterson,
Yeah.
and they played a bunch of Eddie Hinton songs.
Oh, I love Eddie Hinton.
And,
Yeah.
and so it was just super random that it happened in Tallahassee, and,
Yeah.
and every time I see Chuck, I just tell him how, and I don't even know how that happened. I just like, but yeah, man, yes, Spooner was really important to me. For a long time.
Wow.
yeah.
That's
We were living in Nashville. We used to spend probably every other weekend at Spooner and Karen's house. So.
Wow.
That's really wild. Wow.
Man,
So
amazing.
this weekend, y'all are playing is it your first show?
This is our first show.
The first show ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
As the Slightly Famous Somebodies, or even like the two of y'all played together 20 years ago.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
played since
Lauren
the
and I-
Waffle House. No, I haven't played in a long.
It's been a while, but yeah, in Los Angeles, Laura and I were there about a dozen years, and we had a little like comedy rock duo. We'd go out and freak people out and dress silly and do silly songs, but they've morphed and changed. The lyrics and two of the songs on our record are sourced from that band in 2008.
Oh, cool.
And they've enriched and become something completely new,
Sure,
both lyrically and musically since then. But yeah, it's good. It's like it's not just full circle. It's like a reinvention and a new growth of what was before. But there's a lot more hope than it was.
And these two are they're actually rock stars. They're this close, and they'd be
Yeah,
really
yeah,
famous.
yeah.
If they were famous,
like if
then
they
they'd have
wanted
to
to
start a new band. They have to be we're a really famous band.
Well, that kinda
I'm not in that band.
Reminds me, or
You'll see.
like something I
Say.
think that being slightly famous might be better than being like fully famous.
I think it is.
Would y'all agree with that?
When I wanted to get into
Don't know
clubs,
what it's
yes.
like to be fully famous. So.
When you're
Well,
38,
Yeah, but
You don't
it
wanna get
seems
in the
like
club
there's like a
anymore?
lot of
Well, it's more tongue in
consequences to that.
it's
Do
more
it-
tongue in
do a
cheek for
J.
me, but for Lauren and Vaylor, they've actually had to deal with things in life,
Sure.
good and bad. I don't want to speak on your behalf, but they know both sides of that world.
Well, I'm sure that, for instance, I saw it today. People recognize you all the time. I'm sure that,
that's sweet.
like, I'm sure on the one hand it's wonderful, and
But it's
great.
this slightly famous. So it's a couple people want to take a picture of me. But like when I see
Yeah.
like Bill Macy or John Cusack or a lot of different people, and sometimes like when you're not in good mental health, and and I struggle with that kind of stuff, and you've got to be on, and you've got to get to here, and you can't miss a beat, or else there's so much to do. At the same time, I do really like watching all these very famous people's work. It's got its perks to being rich and famous. Who wants to be naked and famous? I know this. But at the same time, I do think there is an element to it. Like, I just grew up in such a, like my grandma's from like Dawson, Georgia. I just came from a small place. I just like to be in my room by myself doing my thing. I don't like to be out all the time, but
Have you made some friends over the years that have helped you, like with some advice, or like when you're like feeling overwhelmed by that sort of thing, that have like helped you through some of those times, or have you just had to figure it out like on your own?
I feel like my life like did a 180 where like everything was fast, everything was working out. The pandemic came, 3 of my movies were going to premiere, they got scrapped, it happened to a lot of people and just
Yeah.
and in different industries, different versions of that.
Right.
And at first it was like agonizing. I thought my life was over. I was just so sad about it. And then all of a sudden, like with my kids and everything, I just started to find actual confidence, if that makes sense. So, like when you're like, you know what, it might come back again, but it doesn't matter really.
Your happiness isn't tied to
And I think that makes it better. And
And you got your family. It's like, you have to take time to do that.
And I have, for a long time, I was like, I don't want to be I don't like big crowds. Very short. People act like I'm the person, like when they're like looking for how they're going to walk, they always walk through the short people. Every time. They always pick that path. They're like, excuse me. And I'm like,
A lot of us in this band, I was gonna say, a lot of us in this band have a before and an after moment kind of thing in our lives, whether it's the TV or for
We're
me, like
traumatized.
I had my last drink 8 years ago. I'm not entirely sober, but I don't drink and I don't touch alcohol. And it's a page turn for me. There's a before and an after. But in this band, there's not a before and after because I've got Kane and I had the 90s. Laura and I don't share LA and Athens with anyone on the planet other than Laura Wiggins. Like we had almost a dozen years there and we both have Athens. We're in different decades, but we have that shared thing and I don't have to explain the jokes. It's just an unspoken. And she sang in my dad's funeral and she was there for my ill-fated wedding and helped me not have a second divorce. So that was great. And Kane was there in the 90s. But at the same time, when I was a complete disaster, it's such a joy to have a new friend in Vaylor who didn't know that guy. This guy.
Yeah.
It's the new guy.
Sometimes it's really hard to be different when people expect a certain thing from you. You know what I mean? So I know exactly.
I like to say that 75% of the people in my world now are new, are post 8 years ago, and the 25% that are not are the best people I've ever known in my life.
Yeah.
Kane,
and
Rod,
I
so-
was like, I'm thinking,
I'll say
That's pretty similar for me.
But that kind of, I'm not going to use the right metaphor, but that little like choice point, that little turn MacGuffin, as they call it in scripts or whatever, like you've got a before Shameless and an after Shameless. And we were playing songs and being
Way
silly
before
way
that,
before
and-
Shameless. Like, so Laura can always look to me like it's not a before and after because we had like songwriting and silliness going on long before any of that stuff.
it's
So
like, I get to sing lead tomorrow, but I think it's really cool that like next time I don't have to sing lead. I'll sing backup. Like it's really cool to be able to be fluid like that and not have your ego involved in it because you just get so many new colors and seeing someone else do it. Actors, we do watch everybody do the same scene 1,000 times. And it's like sometimes you're like, dude, I like their spin on it right now. And I like that a
Sometimes you
lot.
just spend a lot of time reading horror stories.
Yep, you learned that. It's really, I know everything about my tarot, or the accent, not everything.
I've got an audition I've got to get in, do Monday morning that Laura's going to help me with on Sunday afternoon here. And she and I have been reading. When we audition, you have a reader on the other side of the camera that no one sees. And I've been her reader and she's been my reader. We're going on 2 decades now.
Yeah.
Like it's just,
Gotta throw
it
them
comes
all.
as easily as playing music together. And it's shockingly very similar. The way that let's try this. Let's try, like the vibe we bring to the table in ensemble comedy or ensemble drama is super similar to the way that we approach music. It's very fluid. We don't commit to anything for fear of closing the door on ourselves to the best improv take is the one that you haven't come up with yet. It's like an epistemological circle there, right? Like the more you plan it, the more you push it away from yourself. It's the happiest. So we love the little clever things we come up with, and we take those. When we do auditions, we're like, let's do that take, let's do that take. But it's inevitably the one you haven't thought of yet that you find in the moment that's the one you end up using that's the best one. So we try to create that space with the music too, hopefully, and not sit at a taco stand talking about the perfect song.
I do love tacos.
We do love tacos.
I mean, yeah,
Long-term reward.
wonderful.
And that Rock Lobster is right over there. I think Rock Lobster's
Didn't
still
you-
there. I haven't looked at it for a while. But
Didn't you want to release our 33 and exclusively?
Oh, yeah.
He bounces a lot of ideas off of me, and they some of them sound like they might actually go somewhere, and then you never hear about it again.
That's right.
But,
That's right.
and then all of a sudden it's like, hey guys, we're doing this tomorrow? It's never that bad. It's never that.
I find the nature of the great ideas is you got to be willing to kill the dog and have 4 bad ones for every one. If you got to fully entertain the bad ones in order, if you just sit and go, we have to come up with the perfect thing, it'll never work. Yeah, for 5 minutes I was like, let's just release a 45 and just give it away at taco stand if anybody spends $30. And Kane's like, Jonah, how you gonna spend $30 at taco stand? That's too much
Party
food.
intent.
For a
Waffle
single-
House $30 now. Better not have a taco
I mean,
stand.
outside costs like $300.
That's my cherry coke, but
Outside is expensive. Just leaving the house it costs a lot of money.
That cherry Coke, that was good.
So y'all are gonna cover a song tomorrow night that I'm super excited about because I'm not sure I've ever heard anybody play Fever Dog.
Oh,
Yeah, me neither.
And I'm also like I'm sitting
So
here thinking about
ridiculous
a lot of.
thinking
First of all, like I grew up on that movie.
Almost
Almost
all
Famous,
did.
and all my friends. Like I worked at a concert venue when I was a kid, and so everybody compared me to William Miller.
oh, okay.
Which
Very
is Cameron
cool.
Crowe's autobiographical character.
Right.
Stillwater is, of course, they're a fictional band based on...
Partly on the Allman Brothers.
On the Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, where did the decision to cover the first one, Slightly Famous Somebodies, Almost Famous, is, like, obvious, but I feel like it goes deeper than that. Can you just tell me about what the decision to cover that song of all songs?
It actually started off as a segue from another song we're doing called 45. It just, the feel of the two together was a natural segue. And then once we decided rather than to just sting it, but to make it its own song, yeah, it got added to the set list. It was originally just going to be a little Easter egg at the end of the tune.
However,
'Cause it fit.
it's a short song, but in my mind, it's a perfect song, and it's got a really good ending for a concert closer, and that might be.
Plus, you've worked with Jason Lee before.
Yeah,
And
mine was all like, I did 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Mine was all.
I'm just thinking about all these different connections to this song. It makes so much sense for you.
Laura, one of the Athens. Kane's born and raised in Athens. Laura is born and raised in Oakland County, the next county over, but basically
But it's
Athens.
still
And I was
Athens.
here 91
It's
to
like
99.
Athens.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was here for almost a full decade. The one thing that Laura and I share, we laugh about all the time, is and this was true in 1991 when I got here, and this is true in 2025 right now, which we love being cringy and pissing off all the hipsters.
I think
It's the best
I'm
thing you
also
can do,
like, I was the
really.
cringy dude at the History Records
But
store.
the-
You know what I mean?
Embrace the cringy, full on embrace the cringy. So the
I just
Fever
stand
Dog
with
is
that.
like right within that juice. If I can make Elephant Six roll their eyes at me, I have won.
I got one
But
for
I
you.
love
That
them.
accounts.
They never ever.
The last jam cruise I did, one of the theme nights was about cooking, about food.
Oh.
And my kid, I have a kid I'm immensely proud of named Astrid, and they are working as a teacher, a music teacher in Lexington, and also they are an intern at Wood Songs, the folk and bluegrass radio show out of Lexington.
And they play harp, is it?
They play cello.
And my
There's
nephew's
their
like,
main
okay.
instrument
My
is cello?
husband do
Their
that.
main instrument is cello, yeah.
Yeah.
Astrid
And
knows that I like to
it's
cook
something-
and made for me this really spectacular pink and white frilly apron with my name on it.
It is so cute.
Are you gonna wear it tomorrow night on your birthday?
No.
Oh.
I got something else planned for tomorrow.
Okay.
That's for special
The
times.
air left the room.
He only wears them for special occasions, like Jam Cruise.
But one of the jam cruise nights, like I said, was about the cooking and stuff. So I said, I'm gonna bring the apron.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna wear it.
That's fun.
And so I put on the apron and I'm out mingling, and I get. Do you know who Stanton Moore is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course. So I get this look from Stanton. Just this side eye, like, what the hell is this white boy doing? Yeah, and I could not have been prouder. I said, hey Stanton, my kid made this. And I just kind of walked.
Yeah, heck yeah.
It is what it is, my friends. I didn't know they made it.
Yeah.
What a great job.
Yeah, it's
The
that was
sound.
funny. Like in '91 in Athens, one of those things is there's always like 2 sides of the tracks here, and everybody debating what was cool and what was not. And I would just roll my eyes and be like, let's just go do something and make something instead of sitting around and talking about what is or is not the thing, right? Back to epistemology. Like, we're just going to sit around and talk about what the thing is, or are we going to go make shapes and just start making? And Los Angeles really gave me the freedom to let go of it's got to be this or it's got to be that, or we have to
That's a good
create that.
point.
Because everyone was talented, or you wouldn't have shown up. You didn't make it to set or on stage if you weren't. So you just took out the "are they good enough" out of it and just assumed everybody's awesome. Now let's make a cake. And that's the energy that this band has as well.
That's
It's like,
the energy of Athens, Georgia, in
Yeah.
a lot of ways too. I mean,
we just start
Let's make
cooking,
cake,
man.
yeah.
I'm not saying that people get a pass if they suck, but I think like everybody gives everybody the benefit of the doubt until they have a reason not to. Everybody lifts each other up artistically.
I've seen
Michael Stipe used to have a venue called Go Bar, and it was like my church over here. I
Next
love
door to the
Go
grave.
Bar so much, but one of my favorite things is you could go there and it would be like unlistenable to like feedback guitar, but it was allowed, it was permitted.
Yeah.
And there's something about allowing it to be there for some reason and just loud and in your face, and then it turns all of a sudden into this other bar where it's really good. You might have a great band go through there, but
Yeah.
just the like opportunity to just be terrible, but also you have, I don't know,
Or to just be.
Just to
and not
be,
worry
yeah.
about whether it's good or not.
Some people embrace dissonance, you know.
Yeah.
And
Oh, definitely.
I don't know, it just reminds me of a child just being like, bah, bah, bah. You're enjoying making the noisy mess you are, but I don't know.
Let them paint the walls. Let them hit the pots and pans.
In LA, of course, they're just, you never know. They're just, everybody's going to try everything out there. There's there's a new take on everything in Los Angeles. So.
So, I'm here covering AthFest. That's why I'm in town this weekend. Y'all are playing AthFest. Some of you, I'm guessing, have played many AthFests. Some of you have never played AthFest before.
Never played.
But I was the intern in 2007. It was a very...
Laura, will you tell us about your internship in 2007, please? Let's start there.
Okay. It was still Troy Aubrey, and there was another guy that was doing it too. I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry, that guy. A long time ago. I was going bar to bar, getting the wristbands to the band so that it wasn't chaos to get the wristbands. I like the no
Like at whatever bar they were playing at?
And I keep forgetting it. You couldn't just text everybody or anything. Like, I'm finding people on MySpace. Like, there is Facebook, but it's only
It
college
just started,
students. And,
yeah.
like, I went to, it was called Gainesville College. That's gone now. But, like, I had a dual thing. Like, I did high school and college at the same time. So I had a but it was just chaos. And but it was so cool. So much fun. And, like, I was even talking to 5'8", like they played a rock and relief benefit we did for Hurricane Katrina, and I was like, it's just funny how that stuff like really like it gets in your subconscious. And the Modern Skirts are back, and unfortunately playing while we are playing, and they're probably tired of me saying this, but they were like,
Yeah, you're the competition now.
but it was like they were. I mean, I went to all their shows, and they're just all. My dad and I would go to the 40 Watt together. I was always proud of him because he was like, all right, if you're gonna rebel, then let me come with you. And
My
he
mom
liked
was
it
the same
too.
way.
He liked it too. So.
My mom would just hang out in the back, so I wouldn't not just.
And the wigs are still killing it.
Yeah.
I don't have an Athfest story because the first Athfest was after I already left town. So
So is this your first AthFest?
yeah, first time I've ever been here for Athfest.
That's
even.
really
So
cool.
yeah, I was either in Los Angeles or I was always gone when it was invented. So I was here 91 to 99, and then coming back a bunch in 2000. But I moved to LA in 2003. So I was there 03 through 2015.
It's the 25th one, right?
I thought 27, but I might be wrong.
I think it's the 25th, but then a couple of years didn't happen.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
So
that's
I don't,
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
don't.
that means it did start in the 2000s, which is weird. I didn't
Yeah.
realize like
Yeah.
that was the
on
first time that was happening then.
My band, Shank. Hey, what's up, Shank? We were on one of the first AthFest samplers.
Oh, wow.
Where they used to put out.
I miss
They're not still
those.
doing that, are they?
I miss those. Those were good.
Playlist.
Okay, there used to be discs that they would put together, and,
I got a few
Orchids.
any band that released an album that year was able to submit,
Yeah.
and then we got a song on there, and we didn't play that year, but I was happy to be on the album, and then my Afro-Caribbean folkloric drum ensemble called Moyuba has played several times, and we've opened up some shows. And then I've played twice with a reggae band called Natty Lovejoys on the main stage, and that's always been really fun. And there were several years where I was not in town for it, and I don't know. I really like that we're doing a night show. This will be my first night show for AthFest, which is really the coveted time.
Weather's supposed to be great.
Have you ever debuted a band at AthFest before? Has anybody ever done that?
That is a fun thing that I'm really glad we're doing it. I remember
That's wild.
my parents used to, when I was a kid, my parents would they would take me to the Friday night movies, and I'd get to see a lot of movies that I probably shouldn't have seen at age 9 or 10. Stir Crazy, I can remember going to see the premiere of that. But one of the ones my parents took me to in 1980 was when Bo Derek married John Derek, the movie 10.
Yeah.
And she's running down the beach. And I remember the trailer specifically saying, and introducing Bo Derek. And I remember turning to my mom, even at that age of 8 or 9 years old, and going, how can she be the star of the movie if this is her first movie?
Yeah.
And not that we're the stars of AthFest, but like this is our first gig, and we're playing
Yeah.
AthFest. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So I've been half winking at, Introducing Slightly Famous Somebodies. We're introducing.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun. You got to show up to see who's going to show up, and you never know when the next one will be. So,
How many F-Fests have you played?
how about fests in general? Vaylor's played a lot of fests.
I've built a lot of festivals, but this is
I feel like we'd be here all night.
part of it is that the Allman Brothers founded 2 festivals.
Right, I used to go to Wani all the time, yeah.
So I
My
played
favorite.
both of those multiple times,
Yeah.
but many others beside. But no, this is my first time at Fest. I've lived.
What's a fantastic fest and a terrible fest experience? Not the fest itself, but like one that, I know, rain or mud, and another one that was just unbelievably rewarding and wonderful.
The rewarding and wonderful one would have been Wakarusa in Kansas.
Oh, wow.
It was hot as monkeys out there. It was terribly hot, but the music went on till about 6 in the morning, and we played the same tent that Buckethead had played.
Oh, wow.
So I got,
That
so I-
brings back some memories. So it's like
so I got to
Bonnaroo
see
2000.
Buckethead
Theater.
and be backstage. I didn't get to talk to him or see him without the bucket and the wig or whatever, but I did at least share air with Buckethead, and that was pretty cool.
That's
In terms of
One that went south.
Wait, that's a wig?
It's Banksy. Just kidding.
That's not his real head.
So doesn't that think of like Rick and Morty when they take
That's
the
not
thing
his
off
real
the
head.
4 times guy and he just has a mustache and really white face? So he looks like.
there was I had
I know him too. I know him too, Vaylor.
I had a prog jam band for a while I was in called Bonobos Convergence. There was a couple of guys from an Orlando jam band called Kinda who had moved up to Atlanta. And they were looking to hire a bass player, and I auditioned to play bass and guitar because that's what I was doing with my fusion band at the time.
Simultaneously?
Yeah. Yeah, what I would do is I
Wow.
have a MIDI pickup on my guitar, and I would send the low 2 strings to a Moog synthesizer.
Oh,
so I could play bass lines and chords at the
Baylor,
same
that's
time.
freaking, wow. Heavy magic.
Charlie Hunter moved to Greensboro.
Charlie Hunter went to high school with my friend Galadriel. who was
Sometimes like
playing
we
on
are
his
all on the
daughter.
spectrum.
Yeah.
That's one of the benefits
yeah.
of being on the spectrum. Is you have something
Anyway.
like I'm just gonna do that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Bonobos Convergence was hired to play a solar-powered festival in Central Florida, just outside Orlando. They're going to solar power the whole thing. The problem is, our organist Pete played through a real B3.
Ooh.
And what happens with the B3 is that it spins its tone wheels
Right.
based upon the cycles that's coming from the plug. And the cycles we were getting from the sun mean it was out of tune the entire set.
Wow.
So not only was it hot, no shade, in the middle of a field in the middle of summer in Orlando, but we were out of tune the entire set.
Whoa, is there a
You
free
didn't have any idea that was going to happen?
No.
is there a free jazz song in your future called Solar Hammond that's like intentionally waffly tuning the whole thing? Solar Hammond.
Might be an art.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
For some reason. I'm wondering if they figured out a way now. Because I feel like that's
After
probably
two-
one of the first times anybody's tried to run a Hammond on solar power.
Yeah.
Like,
It kind of sounds like a terrible idea, but
Yeah.
like,
That might be the new code for whenever a bad idea comes up. You just go, nope, Solar Hammond.
but we don't know that.
Solar
We
Hammond.
don't know
Nope,
that.
it's a
no.
Solar Hammond. We're not doing
We
that.
don't know that. I like the idea.
You got a
Like,
whole
yeah,
new language
Love
tonight.
the idea.
Solar Hammond is now the nope instead of
Now,
86.
if it
Not
was
doing
a
solar-
heat,
John Enough, we got
like
Pajama Neff,
That's
Solar
how we
Hammond.
came up with the spectrum.
Pajama Neff and the Solar Hammond.
holy shit. It's his new band. Who
You know,
doesn't know it
his
yet,
his
but-
150th band. Exactly.
no. Somebody was gonna run a festival in Florida off of mosquitoes and humidity.
Oh my God.
Y'all would be blowing. Oh, I should make fans.
The nun covered.
Mosquitoes
I
are
will
our
be a good. I will be a.
So,
I thought that was Charleston because there's R that sounds like a freaking bird. But we'll be making our yearly trip to Florida, so don't worry. We love. But then there's always
Still
jokes
got
we can
family in
make.
Jacksonville.
so you guys just wrapped up your debut record today?
Pretty much.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
a
we
couple
got
overdub harmonies on Sunday, but yeah, we're
And
pretty
that's
much
got
wrapped.
a pajama his parts in.
Right.
You got it. We'll fly in the pajama parts. You got it. So a little email mixies back and forth, but yeah, it's basically done. We've already got 3 singles out there all over all the streaming services, and we're gonna keep like releasing a single every couple of months for a while. But this was like a planned. We wanted to be the band that's we're playing the first show, and then we'll see you in 6 months. Bye. Because we all got lives. We all got stuff. We all
So
got
you're not touring behind.
never, never,
No.
never. We'll see you in January at the Rock Lobsters. How about that?
What are they open for?
What let me just go around the room before we totally wrap this
Yeah,
up.
cool,
And
cool.
just tell me what you're working on, Vaylor, and then we'll just go around the room. Tell me what you've got.
Okay.
People can find you, where they can, what you want to promote, whatever
Sure.
you want to plug, some of that stuff.
So I just
Your YouTube
wrapped.
channel sounds really
Yeah,
fun.
I just wrapped season 5 of my series, The Albums I've Missed. And there is a season 6 in the works, but before that comes out, I will have an album coming out. For season 3 of my series, which was a deep dive into prog rock and specifically the Canterbury scene, I wrote original music for every episode, and I've used all of that music. It's 45 minutes of music altogether.
Oh, man.
So I've got all the demos done, so now I'm just retracking everything, getting a couple of additional musicians in. God willing, and the creek don't rise, it'll be out by the end of the year.
Who else playing with you? Got Eric Sanders?
Eric.
Who else on that with?
Vinny D'Agostino is going to
Oh.
be playing some flute and some other
That's
reeds
quite
on
the
it.
name.
Yeah.
That is a badass name.
If you remember, you know who Puddles the Clown is?
Of course.
Yeah.
Word out right now.
Yeah. He had an Elvis tribute band in town for a while called King Size.
King Size, yeah.
And I actually subbed for their guitarist New Year's Eve at the Claremont Lounge one time.
Legendary.
Yeah,
Wow.
but yeah, so Vinny was
I don't know that.
was King Size's reed player forever.
Oh,
so that's how I knew
Okay,
him.
yeah.
Aside from Eric, my friend Brooks Smith, who played with the Grapes, he's Eric and Brooks and I are a trio called the Yeti Trio, a very loud, odd meter fusion.
The best.
Yeah, but I've got some other folks I'm not prepared to say just yet because I don't have all the details yet. But maybe a Zappa alum or two might show up on this album.
Man, I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with Zappa.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mike Neal.
Like,
I think it would be good. It would be a smart choice because they would be in good company,
Super.
talented
And of course,
company.
you've got just real quick, just to plug you a little bit. You've got
Still think Michael
the
Stipe
Jam
should
Cruise
play
Masters
before
Camp at
he-
Sea.
Yeah,
and
Jam
you,
Cruise.
and you've
He
also got
said he
brothers and
wanted
brother and
to.
sister.
Brother and sister,
And he
but the
didn't.
next kind of thing where you can
Doors open.
see me and learn from me is Roots Rock Revival the last week in July at Full Moon Resort in the Catskills.
Ooh.
Wow. It's me, it's Luther and Cody Dickinson of the North Mississippi All Stars.
well,
I just had their assistant producer at my house.
Oh,
last
okay.
week, Cody Shade Harrell. He's
Yeah.
Cedric's bass player.
Bro,
Yeah,
so-
yeah,
so-
I know, yeah. Ray Holloman, who is with North Mississippi All Stars, Nth Power with Nikki Glaspie.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Powerhouse.
Funkadelic and Star Child from P-Funk.
What?
P-Funk's from my backyard.
yeah.
Shout out to
So we-
Rosie.
We just took the slightly out. Now we're in famous people.
So it's a camp my dad started 11 years ago, and so I've taken over his spots.
You ever been over to the North Mississippi Hill Country Picnic?
I
It's
have
happening
not.
next week.
I know. No, I have not. I haven't had a chance to do that.
Yeah, I've known the Harrell brothers a long time.
Cool.
They played my house last Friday.
Nice.
actually, and their episode will be out Monday.
Yeah, have you heard the new North Mississippi All Stars album yet?
You listened to it after their set. Friday night
Yeah.
at my place. Yeah, it's awesome. I think it came out like that day.
Yeah, they're still releasing singles.
I know. That's honestly like the North Mississippi All Stars. North Mississippi All Stars were like the band that
Yeah.
routed me into blues and Americana from just like my rebelling against that shit growing
Yeah.
up. You know what I mean? So that stuff's really like Hill Country Blues is really important.
And
to me.
Luther is one of the nicest,
so
most
great.
grounded folks. Cody is a joy to work with and a joy to talk to as well. But Luther and I, since we share an instrument, we talk all the time.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love his playing, Joe. I love your playing. Luther I've been a huge fan of for, God, as long as I can
It
remember.
really is a small world, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Harrell brothers, I've known them 25 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. That's great.
Junior Kimbrough then.
Oh, I don't know him.
Yeah.
But of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Some of his songs would get him canceled these days. That's for sure. And speaking of Zappa, I just wanted to, I almost brought this up earlier, but when you were talking about keeping the Grateful Dead's music and the spirit of their music alive, I think that's really important. I went and saw Zappa play Zappa.
I've seen them
and
several times.
And it's the same thing. Like, there's only certain people that can keep that music alive. So I think that's really important that you're doing that. And
it's-
amazing, man. Like,
It's the reason why I
Thank you.
started Brother and Sister. Is I took my inspiration directly from Zappa Play Zappa. There's a lot of Allman Brothers tribute acts out there. They tend to come in two categories: those that don't give a shit about the form of the song and just want to jam, and those that are trying to put on a stage show and play the solos note for note. And neither one of them has anything to do with the original intent of the band.
Right.
So I said, I would like, if anyone's going to do this, I guess it's on me because I know how.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I
That's great.
put together a group of musicians that I felt could execute that. And it's not a full-time thing. It's not something that we chase a lot. We don't tour that much, but that was the reason why the band started.
But it's an essence instead of a show. It's like the core essence.
It's me treating the music of the Allman Brothers as a body of work to be executed like a small chamber ensemble. So improvise when it says improvise. Don't play a solo note for note. But more than anything else, get the intentionality of the song and the composed parts correct.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so many people screw that up.
Yeah.
It's really, I think, a blessing to have people that know how to play that music the right way.
Yeah.
Whether it be the Grateful Dead, Frank Zappa,
Yeah.
Allman Brothers, to choose to do that. So I thank you both for doing that. You talked about some of your projects.
I ain't got nothing that cool,
You wanna just recap it?
Yeah, just small. Yeah, so I've got a small role on Murdoch Murders. It's coming out on Hulu in October. And a small movie I did in New Orleans called The Designer that's coming out next fall. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next. It's weird in our acting world. We're all under NDAs, non-disclosure agreements now is the way it works. So it's like they're really hardcore about what you can talk about and what you can't and all that. But I'm finally, the best way I can say this, I'm finally in a place where I can't talk about it. For a while it was just crickets and I had nothing to talk about. So it's good to have a place where I can't talk about it again.
I think that everybody's really excited to see what you got coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You've been making
I'm thrilled.
for a long time.
Laura and I were, I'll be perfectly honest, because we had really good runs in Los Angeles, us did, by any standard you can count. And coming home to Georgia, we both thought would be like this big victory lap. And we both found that like Georgia was like, no, we're going to prove that we can do it as good as LA can. So they ignored us.
And I'm like,
completely.
wait, I'm on your team,
They're like,
guys.
we want the Georgia choice, and you two, ironically, can never be the Georgia choice. So that,
true.
we've now outlived that, and it's now come full circle, and now everybody's got to compete on the fields. and the great thing about that is now motherfuckers got to compete with us again.
It was funny. I made more movies in Georgia when I lived in LA.
Yeah.
But a lot of things have changed. Some of it wasn't all this. We had studios. Never readjusting. There was a casting director that was just saying, it's not that the industry left Hollywood, it's just you can live wherever you want to now. And so it's just not only in Los Angeles, it's not just in New York or...
It was a bumpy 5 years since the pandemic, but I truly feel like we are just rounding that corner now. For us and where we come from in our like shared experience as things go. So Laura's got some new action happening too.
And you just had a movie premiere last weekend.
Yeah.
We did, and that one is
That
fun.
was shot entirely in
You know?
Athens, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was
movie.
the first movie shot at Athena Studios. We shot in 4 days with a local. He does music videos, but he's one of those guys. I was like, he can. I just knew he could shoot really well. So if it's going to be a beautiful project,
Directors started with music videos. So like
David Fincher.
Jim Jarmusch.
Sure.
Yeah.
it's like
Lars
I
von
can do it
Trier. Yeah, absolutely.
with some good actors. But yes, we have American Deadbolt, and I'm hoping it will come out on streaming, or we'll see where it goes next. But it's just fully Athens artists. Like we have there's Jade Hernandez is from here. She does a lot of the Flying Squid comedy. Clifton and Jason does a lot of stuff here in Athens. He's also Atlantan, and Clifton, it was his first movie. It's all this cool stuff. We shot it with like the lights were already in the ceiling, so the director was so good with his light. He can't hear, but he can light. So Brian could like just make this it's just beautiful. We had the students helping us. We got shut down for the strike. We got shut down from a tornado, and it just everybody was like, no, Chris Hines, we are making this film. It's happening. He was the producer, and it's just cool to see that kind of. I feel like in other places it would be hard for actors to want to actually make that happen and do everything in their power. Like we're not getting paid extra. We're not. There's absolutely nothing in it for us, but everybody just wanted
The Belgian project.
keep
Well,
going.
and the Rise All Ships ensemble energy is like hard to harness. You can't manipulate that and plan that. And they were able to capture that. They had that. It just like when it clicks, it works, and it's I mean, I feel it here, but it's like you have a support system, and it's the sum of the parts is bigger. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you can talk about right now?
And then
We both. I'll do this.
Definitely this
We
one.
both have new headshots with the coolest. I've been taking it.
God.
I've been taking. But here, check this. Isn't even about me. I've been doing headshots for 25 years, and I've got the best photographer I've ever worked with in my life, Josh Stringer. And Laura's shooting with him next week, and he's from New Orleans, and we just had a vibe and hit it off. And it ain't about look through their book. It's about people, and it's about connections.
sure.
And I've never connected with a director of photography, a cinematographer, or a still photographer the way I did with him. And they're freaking great. And I'm already getting appointments left and right off of them. So I'm promoting Josh Stringer and Laura shooting with him next week.
Awesome. So
Think about it.
y'all just keep that in mind. New headshots from Jonathan Spencer.
Yeah.
Coming
No,
soon.
watch American Deadbolt. If Land and Ashworth's go on premieres soon, then that's the other film that's coming out. I've done a lot more indies, and there's another one that we're hoping, a Western, that might turn up that I'll be able to go out and do like in Tombstone and stuff.
Oh,
but
cool.
we're still like, fingers crossed. But I guess
Say
I'm
that-
starting to feel better enough to like actually say
Save
something.
your Ellie Mae Clampett outfit there. Yeah.
No, I gotta do the ingenue that's going out to the west to save my husband, and then she's gotta go through the journey and grow up, and that's the story.
Turn a room full of guys into a fine red mist.
Kane, you're about to have a big tour. You got a big tour
Yeah,
coming,
I got
right?
a lot of things cooking,
This
but Cosmic Charlie keeping me pretty busy. And we got a Northeast tour coming up and then a Midwest tour. And that's a lot to juggle with everything else in my life. But this project we've been finishing up this album. Once that's complete, we're going to work on one of my songs called Walking Song.
Yep.
That is an instrumental that I already released last year on a different album that was a benefit album for Project Safe. And Laura, and we're going to workshop it and try to add some lyrics to it and take it in a new direction and make it Slightly Famous style and do the stacked harmonies and all that beautiful stuff that we've been doing in the studio. Because the studio is like it's like another instrument for us. So we really looking forward to
Definitely
that.
got a cool aspect too. It's got a very
Thanks.
open.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And
Exactly.
I've just been, I'm just working on. I've got other studio sessions booked for summer with some other bands. People are calling, but also it's just nice to sit on the porch every once in a while, especially when you spend a lot of time in a van. And driving
I
a
get
trailer
that.
and stuff. So I do live out in the country, and nobody can find me. But if you want to find me online, it's drummer.kanestanley.com. It's KaneStanley.com.
And I'll make sure that there's links to all
That's
of this
cool.
stuff in the
Okay.
description
Yeah,
of the
we're gonna
episode.
skip light.
I really appreciate y'all sitting down and talking with me. This has been a lot of fun. I had a really good
Yeah, it's fun.
This has been
Is there anything else y'all want to?
It's really-
anything you think the people need to know before we cut this off?
I don't think.
Give a shout out to our official band photographer, Mike White.
Mike White,
Yeah.
Deadly Designs, he's been
He's
amazing.
famous
Our co-producer with me, Chris Byron, Jesse Mangum also co-produced.
He's also a spy.
Stone
so-
and
Fine. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it.
You know about Mike White Spy? Okay, about
And
single
Chris
time.
Byron has been our co-producer on the majority of the record. He's been an incredible
Speak
partner
to.
all the way.
And a huge shout out to Nucci Space in Athens,
Huge.
Georgia.
Yeah, Nucci
One of a
Chris
kind.
Byron.
Yeah.
One of the most amazing organizations in the world.
I was there when they broke ground for that. And I've been there in their journey. I've worked there too, and it's been a huge part of Athens since they started. And so it's Nucci, nuci.org.
Irrational was
And
Yeah,
there.
this is not the first time we've talked about music.
Man, I could go all night about
And of
that.
course,
so.
I would love to have a conversation about Nucci sometimes.
And that's our official rehearsal studio, apparently.
Yeah.
And of course, Kevin Kinney and Anna Kinney, who started this whole thing for
Yeah.
us, because we were invited by Anna to contribute to the Lady tribute to Kevin Kinney's
Yeah.
songwriting. So they're really the impetus that started.
And that's kind of how
Right.
it started. This was so much fun. Thank you y'all so
Thank
much.
you. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything.
Yeah, we'll just sit and talk
Appreciate
to you timers.
As you can tell, I had a great time interviewing them. And their show was awesome. They played right after Bubba Sparks. It was a party already. And when Laura said she was going to put a spell on us, she was not lying, man. It was awesome. Check out their music. Their album is coming out in the next few weeks. I'll definitely let you know when it is. Make sure to check out Vaylor Trucks' YouTube channel where he's listening to all those records. There's a link in the description. Check out Brother and Sister. He and Melody, his sister's tribute to the Allman Brothers that he talked about in that interview. Of course, you can catch Laura Wiggins on Shameless. That's still on Netflix. I encourage you, if you've never watched that show, definitely check it out. It's a classic. She's also got American Deadbolt out now. I don't know that it's being shown at some film festivals, I'm not sure that you can watch it yet, but I would petition whoever you can to make it so that you can see it. It was shot entirely in Athens, Georgia. Jonathan Spencer, he's got the Murdoch murders coming out, as he talked about. Also, just check out his IMDb page. I promise you've seen him in like a million things. Kane Stanley is on tour right now with Cosmic Charlie. I'm hoping to have him back on the podcast, especially since he was a little bit late. He was picking up the passes for the band when we started the interview, so he had to come a little late, but hoping to talk to him a little bit more. Next week, we've got Jen Bryant. Check my mail if you would, please, Jen. She's the webmaster for the Drive-By Truckers and has been since the late 90s. Really one of the first webmasters, and I would assume probably the longest running webmaster in music. If anybody's been doing it longer than like 26, 27 years, send me an email. I'd love to have you on the show as well. We have a great conversation. She tells me all about how she first met the Drive-By Truckers and how she just made a website before anybody even thought about making websites. She also explains the origin of the lyric where her name gets dropped in Hell No, I Ain't Happy. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and tune in next week. Please donate if you're able. There's links on all the platforms and on my website, feddun.net, feddun.net. Thanks again to the Sloan Brothers for the theme song. Thanks to Lee Baines for inspiring the title. Thanks for listening, y'all.